assuming that Mechi will be listening. I'm assuming President Buhari will be listening. Oshibanjo will be listening. And you understand that it's inevitable. Whether they like the bill or not is irrelevant. I must take the show on the road. And I want the executive to understand that this is what is going to happen. If anybody in a Western country found out the bill was stepped down, they will laugh at us. They will laugh at you. You're not serious. You're a clown. You step down a bill like that, for what? What's the alternative? You just, okay, I don't like it. Oh, you step it down. What's the reason? What's the logic behind stepping it down? There's no logic behind it. If there's logic, come to the table and present the logic to me. I'm a smart guy. I'll listen to you. But there's no logic in stepping down the bill. It doesn't matter. I presented the bill to provoke a conversation. And the reason you're here is that I'm provoking that conversation. And by provoking the conversation, you are the custodian of information in Nigeria. If you sell this, don't forget, I'm not a beneficiary. I don't benefit by having electric cars. I'm a consumer, just like you. But you will benefit. The whole nation will benefit. I don't sell cars. I don't sell batteries. I don't sell solar panels. I don't sell inverters. I sell popcorn. But look, so I'm not a beneficiary to any of this. But I'm taking a common sense approach to solving a national problem. Yes.
Can we move to the next bill?
Yes. The next bill, which was beautifully rejected by my colleagues, is called the Right of Return. The Right of Return is a bill that deals with a heritage. 400 years ago, slaves were taken out of Nigeria and sent to Brazil, Jamaica, United States of America, and parts of Europe. These slaves, your great-great-great-grandfathers and mothers, were used to build those great economies today. After they built the economies, these slaves now became their greatest athletes, their greatest scientists, their greatest doctors, their greatest everything, all African descent. And most of them Nigerian, the T.G. Jakes, the Nigerian. Now, the bill was a very simple one. We're saying it's called the right of return. You were taken away as a slave mainly to the West. You have no identity where you are. They call you, first you were a nigger, then you were a Negro, then you were colored. Then when I was with Jesse Jackson in 84, I worked with Jesse Jackson in 1984 when he ran for president. He was the first president to say, now we will be called African Americans. And the reason Jesse Jackson said we'll be called African Americans is because, to them, is because you have Polish Americans, you have Irish Americans, you have Mexican Americans. Everybody in America had a heritage, Indian American. You came from someplace. If they called you Black American, Black is not a country. There's no such place called Black. You happen to be Black, but you're a Black American. That is an insult to be called a Negro, colored, or Black. You come from somewhere. They don't know where, but you come from Africa. So you're an African American. So Jesse Jackson, when he ran for president in 84 and 88, and I was with him for the two presidential races, he says, from now on, we are called African Americans. In my conversations with them, they say to me, I want to go back to Africa. I want to go back to where I belong, to see my family, to see where I came from. Now there's DNA. The DNA tells you exactly where you're from. Are you from Sierra Leone? Are you from Senegal? Whatever it is. There are many prominent people in the world whose heritage is Nigerian. Famous people, scientists, work for NASA, greatest minds in the world. They call me up, they say they want to come back home. So I present a bill. I said, anybody with Nigerian blood that you can prove of good character, you don't have a criminal record, you can be of service to us, let that person have a right to acquire Nigerian citizenship. He's a Nigerian. It's not his fault. When they took him to America 4 years ago, they didn't ask me if he had a visa. They didn't ask me if he had a passport. They didn't ask for those things. They just took him, enslaved him, changed his name, and he became a Black American. Or Pele. Is Pele from Brazil? Is Mike Tyson from what? Isn't he from Africa? Maybe Nigeria? And that's the point. That's the purpose of the bill. Now, the French national team, all Black people. You telling me if I was president of Nigeria and this bill passed, Nigeria will not win 50 medals in the Olympics? Are you kidding? You think I'll not bring my brothers and sisters back here? I'll not win 50 medals in the Olympic? You think if I needed a scientist to run a particular industry, I would not find an American or Jamaican or Brazilian with Nigerian blood who I would bring back here to grow our economy? That is the purpose of the bill. But as usual, we got defeated again. I was misunderstood. I just want to comment. They said, well, maybe the Ghanaians will flood Nigeria or the Togolese will flood Nigeria. That's not what I talked about. You have to be successful. When the green card lottery takes place in Nigeria, they say, America will say, we need doctors. Go to Nigeria. They'll do a lottery. You don't know. To qualify, you have to be a doctor. Or you won't qualify. Forget it. Or they need a specific skill. If not, why don't they go on the road and get the Agberos and take all of them to America? They take the brightest of Nigeria to America. The brightest of Nigeria to get citizenship in Great Britain. Not the dumb ones. The brightest. After the Second World War, the nuclear bomb, the space race, what happened? The Germans were converted to American Germans. Then the other half were taken to Russia and were converted to German Russians. And the space race began. It was between Russia and America. But the people who developed the rockets were Germans. They weren't Americans. So if they benefited from taking people of Europe to become their citizens so that economy can grow, why would we sit here and suffer when we can have a bill that guarantees that anybody with Nigerian blood can become a Nigerian and any talent I want in the world? If I am doing track and field and I wanted to break the world record, you think I'm going to spend 20 years training somebody? I will find a Nigerian who lives in Harlem who can break the world record, send him here and win the gold medal. That's what they've done. Did you see them training their people? They take Nigerians and become world champions. They take Nigerians, then they invent products. But when we are happy to go to America and have our children. With no blood to America, we have a child and say, oh, my child has an American passport. We are eager to do that. We are eager to go to England and raise our children there and say they are British. But when your great-great-grandfather was taken as a slave against his will to America, to Jamaica, to slaves, and they said they want to come back home and they want to bring talent to Nigeria, my colleagues in the Senate, what they say? No. That is my bill. Questions? That's it.